Guys, it's finally here. My order is finally here. I'm very glad because I was a little skeptical at first, forking over the money for this piece and not knowing whether it was actually going to arrive. Which I will say, caution, and this has been discussed not just by what I'm about to say, but by others who've gone through the same thing. There's a lot of scammers in the knife world, so be careful. And when I say scammers, I'm more referring to custom makers. If you're ever going to buy a knife, depending on the person's reputation, you do not want to give them the full amount up front. And some people will tell you don't give 50%. Don't even give that. Some people will say don't even give 25. Some people will say don't even give 10%. Some people will tell you, some collectors will tell you to only give, to not give anything until the knife's complete, and then once they have it, then you pay for it. But I'm okay with giving up to 25% personally on a purchase before it's done. But I mean, generally speaking, you don't really see, not that I've seen, you don't really see a lot of knife makers nowadays that say, hey, I'll make you a knife, but I need you to give me 25% first, or 50%, or whatever. I just don't see it as much personally, and I pretty much pay attention to a lot of the industry. I'm not the most knowledgeable, but I just don't see that much anymore. Generally speaking, most knife makers, custom makers, make the knives. They'll put them up for sale on Instagram, or they'll make you a knife and then charge you for it and then send it to you when it's fully done. So anyway, let me stop babbling and open up the box. What is this? What could it be? Full disclosure, I have already opened this, but I'm doing this for you, and I actually left it exactly the way it came. So maybe you saw that. Let me put that lid to the side. This is, hold on a second, this is a Band-Aid that the maker included. And you see that symbol there? That looks so familiar. Swiss. What could that be? Kase Knives, Switzerland. Roman Kase, Kase Knives, Switzerland. Knife maker. And he's obviously out of Switzerland, and he really focuses on the same thing that Sean Houston does. The importance of blade steel, heat treatment, and geometry. And especially the heat treatment. And he uses a lot of different steels. He uses, we'll get to the card of, the information about it. He uses a lot of different steels that I don't want to say haven't heard of, but just a lot of unfamiliar steels that are not generally known to the mass public of the mass public of collectors, enthusiasts. He works with knife steels that are, I would say, maybe a little more difficult for other people to produce on a regular basis. But anyway, here is the knife. Ooh, what is that? This is known as his turbo model. Okay, I opted for the cutout and the blade. I wish it was a little longer, but based on the steel that I ordered, I think it's S390. I'll show you the card in a moment. Which S390 is basically just, for all you who like K390, S390 is an enhanced version of that. Like on steroids, from what he was telling me. So much longer cutting, and I think even potentially stronger or tougher. So very interesting. But anyway, based on how hard the steel can get, I wanted it to cut out to be a little longer. I can still middle finger flick it. I just have to adjust my hands a little differently. But I wanted just the longer space just to have that little extra. But anyway, he couldn't do it for risk of breaking the knife. So I'm just going to walk around the knife and show you. Very nicely done. You know, just simple. This is something simple. I could have opted for more. I thought about it, but based on what this was, I was happy with a plain Jane version. But the thumb hole was kind of a non-negotiable. I didn't really want a thumb stud. I like thumb studs, but I prefer thumb holes. So there's the pocket clip. I did throw it in a... This doesn't work on thick pants, that's for sure, because it's... Focus. It's very low profile, and just the design of it. It's very strong, but strong tension, I should say. Sorry. It works in thinner pants. I haven't worn it in jeans yet because it's still summertime. So, well, let's check out the knife. Look at that grind, man. Look at those grind lines. And let me tell you, he even warns people this is sharp. You better believe it. I mean, thank God I haven't cut myself, but you can tell it's got such a shimmer on the blade in the light, and you just feel it. It's almost like it doesn't have an edge. And when a knife feels like it doesn't have an edge, my experience is that those are the ones that you have to really look out for. Super sharp, to the point where if something is so sharp that it can cut you and you don't realize it, yeah, that's sharp. So very simple but clean design. It just works. No jimping, but you know, your thumb just lands here. Feels good in the hand. It's a very nicely made piece. Excuse me. All right, now let's show you what this is made of. So this is the turbo frame lock. So he wrote down, this is from a special oval blade hole, steel S390 micro clean. Hardness is 68 Rockwell hardness. That's hard. Cryogenic cycling, which I forgot to mention in the last video, which I'll show as a comparison in a minute, but the Doug Ritter RSK Mark 1 G2, the Magna Cut, where all of their blade steels actually use the cryogenic heat treatment, which I presume is the same as the cryogenic cycling, but maybe I'm wrong. Grade 5 titanium handle. All right, let's see if I can read his handwriting. SIN something sand. That's hard. Sorry. PBK. Oh. Cage bearings. 62. There it is. 62 Rockwell hardness. 440C bearings. And then we have the... Can't read his handwriting. Something pivot and stop in. Wet ground, hand sharpened. Handmade in Switzerland by Roman Kase 8825. Sorry, I can't read his handwriting. It's a little bit of a chicken scratch, but not the worst. Anyway, so here's the knife. Again, I mean, the details are very nice. Look at that pivot, how it's raised. It just looks so good. He did, you know what's funny? I didn't actually look at it. Oh, he did mention, there it is. Whoop, in the light, you can see. See if it shows up. Come on, focus, camera, please. There you go. Swiss made with the symbol of the Swiss cross. That's very cool. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. I don't have my flashlight on me, but that's okay. You know, it's simple. It's, you know, it doesn't have texture, but all the edges are knocked down. You know, there's no sharp edges with the frame lock. The only thing that I've noticed, it's definitely got a stronger lock bar tension, but it's not horrible. I've definitely felt a lot stronger. The one thing that I'm not fond of, this is just me, this is just nitpicking, right, guys? So when putting my thumb against the lock bar, just the way that this is cut out, it's not sharp, but it's just the cut in, the angle, how it's made. Over time, when you're unlocking that, you know, your thumb can get a little sore, but I figured I'd mention it. Oop. Wow, I made that fail. Well, it's just the design, or it's just because of how I have to adjust my finger and my hand to opening the knife. Very nicely done. Like I said, clean, simple. For me, ordering this, I do like the design. The biggest thing for me was the blade steel. The fact that he does an excellent job with pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits of getting the most out of your money, or the biggest bang for your buck, the best performance out of a blade steel, period. And he'll work with just about any blade steel. So if you're interested, reach out to him. I love the fact that I can't reach my finger down here and cut myself on the edge bevel there or anything like that. Just very, very clean, very simple. It's very simple, but I just do like that barrel spacer. It looks good. It's got some nice machine lines, grooves, cut-ins, pocket clip. Right. I'm generally not a fan of cutouts here. I prefer them on the inside of the frame, but where this is, it doesn't actually bother me. There's your stop pin. I've only opened this a handful of times. So you see the lockup there on the tang of the blade. Nicely done. Centered. Oh yeah. No way to reach my finger in there. That's one thing I look for. But it's just a very can't speak. It's a very well done piece. I thought of getting an inlay, but it was going to add a lot more to the price, and I just didn't want to do it. And honestly, I mean, yeah, I was fine with just this, and I had some other knives that I was looking at the same time, so I was like, okay, do you want me to really blow a lot more money on this, or maybe buy something else as well? I mean, I already spent too much money on knives in general. But I have sold a fair amount of knives lately, too. So, it's good, you know. Try to sell other knives to pay for bills on other knives. Anyway, let me show you the size comparison. I don't generally do these, but I figured why not if anyone doesn't see. So, let me just show these end to end, right? The Hogue is just a little bit longer in the blade shape, maybe a third of an inch, maybe a half, no, maybe like a third or a quarter of an inch longer blade shape, blade or overall length, so there is that, just to give you an idea. I'll show you just kind of in general, give yourself an idea. Okay, it's definitely got a nice thick tip. You can even see that, right? But man, I do not want to even play around with this because that is so sharp. It really is. It like, he wrote wet ground, hand sharpened. Yeah, that, man, I don't know if I can show you just how this glistens off the edge. I'm trying to, it's really very, very sharp. I'm not kidding. So anyway, yeah, I just want to show off the knife. Haven't used it yet, haven't carried it, but it is a good looking piece. I love the grind lines, it looks great. I love the hole that I asked for. He did write that this was an oval hole. It's really not oval, it's just like an extended cylinder, kind of, just opened up, but you know, it's still very nice, and I just preferred it over the thumb stud. You know, I like being able to middle finger flick it. It's got a good action, detent. Let's see. Nice. it's not coming out. Very nicely done. So, thank you guys for watching. He's on Instagram if you want to check him out. Kase Knives, Switzerland, or K Knives. I think it's actually on his Instagram. K for Kase. Roman is his first name. Roman Kase. So K Knives, Switzerland. And he does have quite a back order. There's a lot of people that are trying to buy knives from him. So he does make fixed blades as well as this turbo model. I don't think he makes any other folder models, but it's a nice design. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks guys for watching, and I just think that's really cool. You know, that's the other thing too. He hand wrote this. I mean, there's some knife makers, custom makers today who are not including certificates of authenticity, and I wish they would. But you know, that's that. Oh, here's his information. I didn't even realize that. This is on the back of the card. There you go. There's his Instagram. Telephone number, which I won't even dare to dial because I live in America and he lives in Switzerland, and that confuses me trying to think about how that would go through if you didn't even would. And I just love that he included a Swiss Band-Aid, which was just going to keep that. I think that's pretty neat. So yeah, that's it guys. So thanks again. Have a good evening.